With its own laboratory unit, the Belize Bureau of Standards is now poised to advance its services beyond the public sector. This national standards body, which is responsible for promoting efficiency and competitive production in goods and services, now wants to tap into the private sector to offer its services.
A lot of what we do is going out in the market and ensuring that we can verify instruments, measuring devices, checking on net content in the stores for prepackaged goods, checking pumps, and verifying instruments in industry for the sugar, flour, shrimp industry. We have now extended that to the airlines. So there's a lot of work that we've been doing here. So most of what we've been doing is focused on this side. But over the last couple of years, we're trying to invest more of our energies in trying to serve the private sector so that the Bureau can offer, for example, meteorological services. That's why we have the laboratories right now to be able to provide calibration services to the private sector.
Director Jose Trejo says that they will present a national quality policy to Cabinet next week, which he says is one that can apply to every sector of Belize's national development.
If you talk about environmental policy, there's standards and quality. If you talk about industrial policy, there's standards and quality. If you talk about of tourism, there's standards and quality, agriculture. So the point is, the common denominator to advance a sector or to ensure that we take care of the national needs from a societal end and from an environmental end or from an economical end, standards and quality is embedded in every. So when I say or when we say embed quality infrastructure, is to ensure that this quality infrastructure is serving every single sector of our national economy.
The Bureau is also seeking to get its lab accredited and certified so that it can be a reference lab in the Caribbean, Trejo said. But aside from this, the unit will now move to develop new standards for common commodities. And in terms of metrology, the Bureau is upgrading its unit that deals with how mass is measured and promotes frequent calibration of instruments to ensure proper measurements. But how does Belize ensure that we are receiving the correct quantity of products we pay for at the stores? Trejo says only when the consumer protection laws come into play will the Bureau's standards be more effective.
There is this absolute need as well for the consumer protection laws to be put in place because it forces the hand to get every single entity involved to help protect the consumer. But the Bureau, within its scope of its responsibility, can only go so far in helping to protect the consumer. I think the overarching thing is to insist on that. We're not seeing that. There's the bill there. I think we have to. Again, this is for all of us. So this conversation is for you to have with your colleagues in the media and for you to have with friends and family, or when you have an opportunity to interview somebody very important, to ask that question. Why is it that we haven't had it? When are we going to have it? Because that's where we need to go.
One of the things that the Bureau has prescribed since 2019 is for the importation of fuel with low quantity sulfur only to protect the engines of the newer vehicles that are imported, and this has been the only type of fuel that has been imported. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.